Hello, welcome to The Wandering Drew. I am Drew. I'm re-recording this video because the first one didn't come out too good and there was a lot of noise from landscapers that were working. So the landscapers have left, but the rain has come. So you may hear some rain hitting the roof and the lightning's kind of passed, so I'm hoping it stays that way. Anyway, I wanted to do a quick video about an upcoming trip that I have. And this trip is planned for the end of this month. I decided a few weeks ago that I wanted to get out there and do a hike. And I didn't have a lot of time to do it. I figured I only had about 9 days or so. So I was contemplating what trips I could take. And at first, I considered going back to the Pinhoti Trail and completing the north part of that trail, which is in Georgia. I even had some dates picked out and some reservations made. However, those dates that I had planned to go ran into conflict with work and I had to end up canceling those plans. So I had to go back to the drawing board. My reasons for making this trip are multiple. First, I wanted to get out there and hike, let's face it. To me, a bad day of hiking is still better than a good day of work. I really needed the time away from work. A mental health day was definitely needed. Also, I wanted to do some hikes in order to train and get in shape for the hike that I have planned at the end of the summer, which is in California that I'll be taking. So I really feel that for that hike, I need to be in better shape. And this hike would allow me to continue those preparations. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I have been training. I've been running. I've done a 5K. I'm training for a 10K now. And I've started doing some hikes, not enough, admittedly, with a backpack, a weighted backpack on, usually around the 32-pound range. I'm working my way up to hopefully 40 pounds and walking several miles. But honestly, I freely admit that I just have not had the time to do that. Most of my training has really been running. And I've been doing the running usually about 4 days a week. So what I'm hoping to do is on the other 3 days to begin training with a weighted backpack, like I said, at the 40-pound mark, and alternate basically running days and walking days or hiking days, and increase my time and my distance with both in preparation for my hikes. So hopefully that plan will put me in a good physical condition for my hike in August. But now back to June. For this trip that I'm going to take in June, I'm going to do something that I really haven't done before, or recently I should say. I'm going to go with another hiker. This hiker is a coworker of mine who we have both talked about hiking, mostly the Appalachian Trail, and we both aspire to someday do the AT, but as of yet, we're both still working, so that hasn't taken place. We've never really discussed going on a hike before or specific plans to get together and go hiking, but it kind of just grew on its own, I guess organically you would say. So I started talking about going somewhere, and then I just happened to find out, you know what, maybe I'll see if this person's available and is interested in going, because I only have a week and a half that I can go at the end of June. And reached out, we had a conversation, and both receptive and amiable to going. We originally planned on going to the Great Smoky Mountains. However, that is a little further away from us, would entail more travel time. Also, I was a little concerned about getting a shuttle in that area, because it can be hard to sometimes go from one end of the park to the other with a shuttle, although it is possible. And also, I was a little bit concerned about some of the requirements that you have to stay at a shelter, and you can't just stealth camp or camp wherever you want, which I like the flexibility of being able to stop if I'm tired or want to stop and find a campsite and not have to be, I guess, pigeonholed into going by a shelter. And if a shelter is not full, you're supposed to use the shelter. I know there are campsites that you can rent and get permits for in the park, but I just really didn't want to deal with that. So both him and I decided that we would go somewhere where we're a little bit more familiar, it's a little closer to home, not quite so much driving, and that would be the thing we talk about all the time, which is the AT. So we decided to go from the start of the AT at Springer Mountain and do north to pretty much do most of Georgia if we can. We've both done the approach trail previously, so we didn't feel we needed to do that, and we wanted to save, that's another day hiking. Considering we didn't have unlimited time, we'd like to try and do all of Georgia, but I just don't know how we're gonna be. The focus of this trip is obviously to go out there and hike. I have some new equipment I want to try as well, but we really just want to get out there and enjoy ourselves. So there's not a lot of pressure to like push the miles or do anything, but of course we do need to get back to our car and to make it back home. So the plan for us right now is to start at Springer Mountain. We already have a place to stay. We already have a shuttle that's going to drive us to the fire road, and we'll hike up to Springer Mountain and start back again down to the parking lot, going northbound. And the goal is to make it to basically Dix Creek Gap, if we can, and in the time allotted. If we're able to do a little bit further and a little better than we planned for, we will then try to do all of Georgia and backtrack to Dix Creek Gap, where we're gonna have a vehicle, and we'll get back in our car and start driving back home. So that's the plan. That's what I have upcoming. I am looking forward to doing a video on my equipment that I'll be taking with me. I'm gonna shake things up a little bit. Originally I was planning on taking a camera. I have some new equipment that I'm trying out that I wanna take. I'm on the fence about bringing the camera, but I'm thinking I may leave it behind in order to save weight. So on this hike, I'm looking forward to maybe not pushing the miles so much, but still enjoying my hike and getting to test some of that equipment. I'll be doing an equipment video very shortly. I'll discuss some of the new equipment that I have, and I'm hoping that I can slow down a little bit and enjoy myself. And together, the other hiker and I that'll be going with me will have a great time. So that's going to be it for this video. It's going to be a short one, thankfully. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Please leave a comment below, give me a thumbs up, or ask any comments or any questions that you want. Put them in the comments below. I will respond to your questions or comments. And if you're interested and you like what I'm doing, please feel free and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this and join me. Till we meet again.